Hello there. Uh, it is Erin here. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, Erin from Nielsen Letters Calligraphy. I'm here tonight to teach you a little bit about copperplate calligraphy. And today is it's lesson 4. So we're 4 in already, which is awesome. I can't believe how fast the time is going. Uh, don't mind me looking down here. I have my notes because I'm that lady. Let's see. We got warm-ups tonight, of course. We got some drills, like with the warm-ups and whatever. I was gonna do a little basic strokes reminder as well, just to make sure everyone is good to go with those. And then we're gonna do letter group number 3, which is great. We love that. And then we're gonna touch on how to critique again, just a little bit. So yeah, I hope that y'all have been having, also, by the way, a good week. I hope it's been good for you. What are we? Are we Wednesday already? I believe so. The time goes by so fast these days. It is unbelievable. I literally can't keep up anymore. Also, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna moisturize my hands right now. My fingers are a little bit full of paint though. I was painting earlier today and it just didn't come off my nails, and it is what it is. You're just gonna see some, was it yellow, green, and red, a little bit all over there. But you won't see dry skin, at least. You'll just see paint, but no dry skin. um, but yeah, I was painting a little bit earlier today, just for fun, just do a little bit of practice, and it kind of. I'm surprised. I was wearing this like cream white hoodie thing that I'm wearing right now. I'm shocked I didn't get paint all over it, as far as I can tell. Anyways, doesn't look like it, but let's just say it was a dangerous clothing decision to wear while painting today. Okay, on to calligraphy. Let me swipperoo my cameras. So I have it like this. I have my little head up on the top left there, and the pages underneath. So you can see my nail polishes coming off, and I just have paint all over them because I'm very professional. Yeah, so you see there. Oh, my shirt actually kind of blends in with my with my desktop, which is kind of fun. I'm basically camouflaged right now. You can't see me, especially with like the blonde white hair. I am the color of paper, and then I am just in a beige mood today. Just beige all over the place. So yeah, without further ado, let's go and get started. So I have my favorite pen holder, of course. Oh yeah, the other thing, the reason I was talking about my camera is because normally I would have two. Last time I didn't do both. This time I definitely won't be doing both. My other camera, I was using, excuse me, an app to make one of my older phones a camera, and it was just giving me a lot of trouble earlier while I was doing my setup. So I just opted to just not even have it as an option tonight. It was just taking too long, and I didn't feel like trying to break my brain over it when I'm not sure how many people actually. I'm not sure right now if you need that other camera angle. But for the first 2 lessons, we did have another camera angle which showed like my hand, like basically it was a webcam on my desk itself, and you would see how I was holding the angle to the table and stuff. So if you're still curious about that, the first 2 lessons, which are up on YouTube, you can go back and you can like see how I hold it with my hand. But for tonight, I just don't have the other camera right now because it was just technical difficulties. It was giving me a hard time, so I didn't feel like breaking my brain, like I said. So yeah, we have my trusty pen holder. We have the Nico G nib. I've already inserted it, where the tip is around the middle of the pen holder itself. I have my two little markers to go through, just so I can highlight a few things for you guys to point things out. And especially because I just moisturized, I do have my little half glove that makes me also look very profesh, while I'm working. Perfect. Okie dokie. So, I'm just gonna go over. I don't know if I want to actually go over the full basic strokes. If I want to write them all, or if I just want to like kind of show them, it might be good where above where I start doing letter group 3, I'll just do the basic strokes just as a little reminder. I actually write them out, but for now I'll just show you. So this is what we've done already within our little lessons. So we've done the basic strokes, these 8 guys here. We have done letter group 1, the simple letters right here. We've done this already. We did letter group 2. This is what we did on Sunday. It was a quick stream. It was about an hour long because we were only really doing four letters, which is good. And then now we're going to jump right to mindful practice because we're going to be doing letter group 3 after, which is the filled in dot letters. If you are looking for where these papers are coming from, if you go onto my shop, you'll see right here is my website. This is why this is on screen. If you go to here on my website and you go to my shop, or if you just put /shop at the end here, if it's your first time seeing me do this, if you go there, the worksheets and stuff that this is all printed from, it's free on there. You just have to go download it. So if you need anything, you can go ahead and go get it there. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of warm-ups. And I had this sheet already from last week or the week before, and I was like, I still have five pizza triangles to fill in. So let's just fill those in. As per the usual, I'm going to pull my sleeves up just so I don't get my white sleeves into ink by accident, because that would be terrible. I wouldn't be as beige. Well, I kind of would be because this is walnut ink. But yeah, this is walnut ink in here, which I was using a little bit earlier. I was fiddling around in my notebook and just kind of like mindful, mindless calligraphy a little bit of, thinking through things and doing some work, which is, I find, very meditative. Okay, and I have just a regular old, just a water jar. I've also already used it, hence why it's a little bit yellow. There we go. Let me just clean off my nib as well, because I did put it in when I had some cream on my hands, so I want to make sure that this is nice and clean. Perfect. Nice and tidy. So the first thing we're going to start off with is doing some practice, some warm-up drills. If you've seen me do this before, you know what we're doing. I think I'm going to do maybe some ovals. Yeah, you can see I didn't clean it off enough because the ink is not sticking very well there. So let me clean this off again. There we go. You can see now it's coated correctly. Let's try that again. So let's see how fast I can get that in there. Oh, that's much better. So as a little reminder as well, the purpose of these is really to practice the pressure and release. So you're getting the contrast between the thick strokes here and the hairlines, which are here. So when you're going up and away from yourself, there's going to be no pressure. And as you're coming down, there's going to be pressure again. I think I'm going to do figure 8s here. I also realize that whenever I lean over, can you still see me? Yeah, you're fine. Because I'm looking down, I'm not looking at you. Actually, yeah, let me fix how that's cut on here. 1 second. Let's make that a little wider, make this a little shorter, move me over. So then when I'm leaning over, there we go. Yeah, you still see the coiffed hair. That's how will you know it's me. Oh yeah, there we go. We're good. This is something that's just, kind of calming to do, especially after a long day. I don't know what time it is for everyone who's watching, but I know for me, sometimes after a long day, just doing some of these can be just very relaxing. Gives you something to focus on. I don't know if anyone else also has a busy brain, like I do, but giving my hand and my eyes to focus on something while my brain thinks about other things is always nice. I had mentioned this not last time, but the time before. If you look at them like this, isolated, this is totally a Christmas tree. Just a little hinteroo for any of you guys looking for Christmas designs. Even this is a Christmas tree. This one. Here we go. Even that's a Christmas tree. Yeah, if you look at it like that. I know we're past the holidays, but something to think about. Uh, I think I'll do one more. I'll do one more, and then we'll get along with doing the actual letters, I think. Well, basic strokes like very quickly, and then the letters. If anyone has any questions, if anyone's been following along doing any of the homework or anything like that, if anyone has any questions for me while we're doing this portion, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll see them. I might not see them pop on the screen right away, but I see on my side of the screen, I have a separate chat where it doesn't disappear, so I'll see it on my end. So if you have any questions or you're curious what about really anything, there we go. And I'll leave this pie, this little pie piece. I'll leave it empty for next time. So, like I said, we're gonna do a little bit of we're gonna do basic strokes first, and then we're gonna jump right into letter group 3. And you know me, usually what I'll do is I'm gonna go first with the marker, and then I'm gonna go in again with my pen holder and the nib. Just gonna make sure this is nice and clean. I don't like to leave a dirty nib or a wet nib or whatever inside my pen holder if I'm not using it right away. And I'll close my ink. Because having open liquid on my desk is not a good idea. If you guys knew me in real life, you would know that I'm incredibly clumsy. It's a disaster waiting to happen. So I have my guidelines that I printed from my little worksheet package here. They are 6mm. As a little reminder, 6mm means the X height, which is from here to here, is 6mm. And because we're doing copper plate, the ratio for that is 3 to 3, or whatever your X height is here times 1.5. So it'd be 6 times 1.5 equals your ascender and your descender height. This is going to be 9 millimeter, and this is going to be 9 millimeter, like that. I'm going through that quickly because I know that I went over that in fairly good detail the very first lesson that we did. So just as a little reminder. So we have to start out with our 8 basic strokes, right? This is the building blocks for your minuscule alphabet, which is what we're working on. So we have our entry stroke, our downstroke right there, our underturn, our overturn, our compound curve, our descender loop, our ascender loop, and our oval. Sorry, I went a little bit off screen there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're good. We got our 8. So that was just a little reminder what that looks like. Just so you see, so you can follow along. If whatever I'm saying, entry stroke, that's what I'm talking about. Downstroke, underturn, overturn, compound curve, things like that. So the letter group number 3 is the filled in dot letters, right? That is going to be the letter B, the letter O, letter V, the letter W, the letter C, the letter R. And you're going to be like, what do you mean filled in dots? I'll show you. No stress. That's why I'm here. So in the workbook, I gave you 2 different variations of the letter B. And I'm going by memory. The first one that I'm going to show you, I believe, is more traditional. And the second one, I think, is like a variation. I don't remember where I picked it up from. Technically, it's not copperplate. It's just a easier an easier one. It's a little bit more legible for people who aren't familiar with copperplate to be able to read sometimes. So I will show you the more traditional looking one first. So it is going to start with an entry stroke. Like most letters, we're starting with an entry stroke. Let me just make sure my mic is. If there's ever any issues with the mic or the sound, please let me know, because I'm assuming everything is working, but you never know. Things might be silly. Okay, yes. So for the letter B, entry stroke, we're going to be doing an ascender curve. We're coming down. We're coming back up again like this. It kind of looks like an L. So the filled in dot portion, can I zoom in anymore? Yes, perfect. Okay, we're going real tiny because I want you to really be able to see this. So I'm going entry stroke, ascender, down, up again. And then I'm turning like this, and I'm coming back out. And then you would go in and you would fill in that dot. So, filled in dot. This version of the B, within context of a word, is readable as a B. But sometimes if people aren't familiar with that, they don't know what letter this is. So it can be hard for people to read, which is why I threw in the other option, which is entry stroke, ascender loop. I'm coming down and I'm stopping. Then I'm going back up over into itself, and I'm doing this, and then I'm gonna fill in that little dot down here. Oh. So as you can see, this one is more of like a stereotypical, I know exactly that that's a bee, which is why this is in the variation. So this move here, it's almost like an overturn, but I'm curling it back in on itself instead of stopping like you would normally. Which you can see here. So let's do the first one again. Right here. Entry stroke. A cinder loop. Down. Coming back up again. I'm lifting. I'm doing my little circle, coming back out over here. Then I'm going back in and I'm filling it in. The second one, entry stroke, a cinder loop, coming down, stopping, lifting, going back up like this, kind of like the overturn, but coming back in on itself. I'm turning, and then I'm going to fill in that little dot. This is going to look a little bit more subtle and a little bit more delicate with the actual pointed pen, but this is just like obviously more chunky because of the marker, but just so you see the difference, but we're still looking at that filled in dot. The next one is the O. So the way that I do the O, I've mentioned before. So we're going to do the entry stroke. I'm starting from here. I'm coming down, I'm pressing, and I'm coming back up and I'm meeting it up here. Then I am about, because this is about half, I'm going right here. I'm about a third of the way down. And then I'm doing the exit stroke. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to fill that in. So again, we're doing entry stroke. Coming from, I guess, what would this be? Noonish, I'd say. If we're like thinking about a clock face. And I'm going to come down, press, then back up to itself. A little outside the dot, coming out, filling it in. Let me do that at a regular speed. That's the kind of that's kind of what we're looking for, right? So we're hoping that when we're doing this, that let me swap my color, the thick portion of the line here is going to align with the 55-degree dotted line that I have printed on the paper. That's the goal. This is what we're looking for. Now we're going to do the letter V. Again, if I'm going too fast or anything as well, let me know. Stop me now. Oh, I'm also trying to think too, what are some issues that I know people have had? So I can show you what we're not looking for. I would say I don't want the O's to be, we're not looking for circles, right? We're not looking for bubbles. We're really looking for ovals. Very precise, right? This is always the goal. We're looking for ovals. And what we're not looking for here, we're not looking for that. Okay. That's a no-no. You can, if you want, do the filled in dot underneath the waistline. I I prefer, this is I think just a preference on my end. I prefer it being above because when it gets down here below, let me do that one more time because it's not the right angle. Da, 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 da. Oops. When it's down here, I find the space in here becomes really tight. So I usually will opt to go for this one. The one suggestion that I will give you when we get to the R and the W and the V, which is coming up, uh, my one suggestion would be whatever way you choose to put the filled in dot, if it's above the waistline or below the waistline, be consistent amongst all the letters that you're going to be doing that with. That would be my 2 cents. I wouldn't swap between doing one and the other unless there's a very stylistic reason to do so. If not, keep it consistent. So I will show you the V and I'll show you what I mean as well. So the V is, we're looking at a compound curve first, which you all know are not my favorites. Okay. Even that's not that great. Let's see. That's a bit better. So we're aiming for even here. So what I do, you go here, and then like I had mentioned, because the B for me, I like having the little loop above the waistline. If the V, you're also need to do this, and you go out. So then if you have a B, I don't know why you'd have a B and a V next to each other. Maybe in other languages. Maybe that's common. But you want those to be consistent. If you're going to do it above, make all of them that would have this happen above the waistline. So let's do that V again. Up, down, up. Fill in the dot. Up, down, up. Fill in the dot. So now we're going to do the W. Same kind of concept. Which is, we're doing entry stroke, underturn, underturn, loop that up there and out, and you're filling in that dot again. Entry stroke, underturn, underturn, loop, and then fill in the dot. So I have to move my paper so much because I have it zoomed in like at, I don't even know, 10x or something silly. Entry, underturn, underturn, loop, exit stroke, fill in that loop. So we're always looking for, pardon me, when we're doing this loop too, we're getting real technical, okay? You can see that there's like a direction to the oval of this loop. So the direction should be pointing also, like of this oval that's here should be also pointing towards that 55. So this one you can actually see I didn't do a super good job because the oval itself is pointing that way, not this way. This is getting very technical. If this is something that is interesting to you, that's something to look out for when you're doing it for yourself. If you're a true beginner and you've never done this before, this is going to be really hard for you to achieve. If you don't get it, that's fine. Do not worry about it. We're good. That's like such a little tiny detail that Most people aren't going to notice. I'm just letting, for anyone else who's done this before, this is something to look out for. Oof, I don't know. It feels like my throat's like feeling a little. I was speaking out loud a lot yesterday. I ran a workshop, so I'm a little bit my voice is a little sore from the workshop yesterday. So I apologize if I sound a little like a little bit like there's a frog stuck in my throat. I'm not sick or anything. It's just the talking for 2 hours to a group of people will do that to one's voice. Okay. Now we're going to do the C. So, which is an entry stroke. And we're going to kind of almost do it like it's an O. So we're going to start from up here, bring it down, and then go back up again. So it's kind of like an underturn, but this is like a little more curved as you're coming in. It's not a true underturn, because an underturn is just we're aiming for like flat up here, down, and then up. When I'm going here, I'm kind of curving it as it comes down. So it's a subtle difference, but it's there. And then after you bring this down and you make the circle, and then you fill this in. So the thing that you're aiming for is consistent height of any letter that has a filled in dot on the inside. We're always looking for the same height. So like a C or the O, we want to make sure that these are at the same height as each other. Aesthetically, I find it more pleasing. It also gives you something like a goal, something to look at. So C, entry stroke, curving it a little, coming back up again, coming back up from here, bringing it down, filling in that loop. And now we're going to go to the R. Actually, I can just keep going here. So I gave 2 different variations for the R. I don't remember which one's more classic and which one's not, to be totally honest. I will fluctuate between both. The first one that's on there is the one that I use most often. That doesn't mean I don't use the other one. I just don't use it as much. So entry stroke, we're going then above the waistline on purpose. We're going to turn it. There's our little filled in dot. Then I like to go at a tiny angle, and then I finish it by doing the underturn. Let me do that one more time, a little bit more smoothly, so you can see it all in one fluid motion. Up, turn, slight angle, bring it down, and above again. And then you fill in these puppies, these bad boys. So like I had mentioned, because I prefer having these above the waistline, all of mine should be above the waistline if it's any of those letters. Because like I said, for me, I find this makes the letter look kind of cramped and small. But I think both can work. This is just more my preference is to do it like this than this. I find it smushes itself. This gives it a bit more time to breathe, visually speaking. I find that when it's like this in the middle of a word, my eye is drawn to that area because it will look darker because there's just going to be, it's busier in the middle here. But if you want to do it that way, that's also perfectly acceptable. I know people do it both, so I just like the filled in dot to be above. So let's do that one more time. Entry stroke, up, down and up again, and then make sure that's filled in. Again, we're also looking at this guy here being aligned with the 55. And now we'll do the other variation, which is an overturn. And then we're coming up here, loop, and then out. It's a bit more, actually, the loop should be more exaggerated. Up, down, up, loop, up again. I find this one is harder as well, because I know when I first started learning it, I was doing this too wide, and then all of a sudden it started looking like a V, which is not what you want it to look like, right? Because if you're not close enough and this is too much, the white space here, it's going to read as a V. And it looks weird and it gets too spaced out. I find this one more easy to control within a word versus this one. So what it should be kind of like that. It's going to be easier to see the subtleties and differences once I swap to the pointed pen. But this is something to keep in mind, that if this is too wide, this is going to look like a V and not an R. Which is why I, generally speaking, will do this guy instead. So let's zoom that out. And you can see what we've done. And I will swap to my pointed pen again. So you can see it working with this guy. All right. That would be for a signature or for normal writing. Sorry if it translates wrong. I'm using the translator. This is for specifically for copperplate. So specifically the script that we're going through right now. This they're both very acceptable variations of the letter R. This is just the one I use most often. Did that answer your question? You think so? Okay. You can basically use whichever one's your favorite, whichever one you like using the most. So we'll do the basic strokes one more time. We'll just go through those so you can see them with the pointed pen. That's just a little reminder of what they should look like. So entry stroke, downstroke, overturn, underturn, compound curve, ascender loop, descender loop, and oval. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I'm always afraid that I forget one somewhere. So now that we have a little reminder of what our 8 basic strokes are, this O should be touching the baseline. I undershot it, but that should be touching the baseline. Cool. So we're going to do the B. We'll do both variations like I did before. So we're going to do entry stroke, ascender loop, bringing it down, then back up to itself, loop, down, filling it in. Oops. There we go. So is this your first time in the in my stream? Ronskite. Yes, perfect. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. So right now I'm currently going through actually like a full-on lesson. Specifically, we're doing letter group 3. Once I am finished up to letter R, I can take requests and I can write your name if you'd like. Not a problem. But I'll just finish my my little lesson for the people who are in here for that specifically. And then I can write I'll write Joshua for you. If you want to know what the font is, it's actually a script. So a font is for a computer and a script is what's done by hand. And this one is in particular is called copperplate. So you can Google it if you'd like. So we have the B. Up, down, and then up again. And then we're going to fill that in. I preferred this one. This one's not as good. This one's better. I like that one. Because I didn't do the ascender loop big enough. It should have been more over. And then this was way too wide. So actually, totally ignore this one. I don't like this one at all. So up, down, up again, loop, over, fill that in. Cool. So now I'm going to do the other variation that I went through before. So entry stroke, ascender loop, down, and then I'm stopping here. I'm moving over a little bit, and I'm going to go up, over, bring it back to itself, make my little loop, fill that in. Up, over, down, up, down, fill it in. So this one is the more traditional one. This one is the one that's more easily read by people who don't normally read handwriting. Let me do this one more time. I did not do a good job on that one. There you go. That one's better. This one got really squished. This one's better. Feels more loose. So that's the B. And now we're going to do the letter O. So it's going to be the entry stroke, coming down and then up again. And then about a third of the way down, I'm going to go in and then do the exit stroke. Like that. So the filled in loop here is about a third of the way down. So here, down, up again, and then we're filling that in. So it's always looking like we're moving, you know? So something that we are hoping that we're not doing is we're not going to try and do it like this or like this. We're really looking for the oval. Because this is going to look more elegant. Now we're going to do the letter V. So this is going to be the compound curve. I'm going to bring it above the waistline. I'm going to loop it. I'm going to bring it back over here as the exit stroke, and then we're going to fill this in. So compound curve, down, up, loop, exit stroke, fill that in. Just like that. Now we're going to do the W, which is entry stroke, underturn, underturn, above the waistline, loop, back around, fill it in. Entry stroke, underturn, underturn, loop, exit stroke, fill it in. I'm sure that it looks, I'm kind of making it look easy, and if anyone's following along, if you're frustrated, I totally understand. Keep in mind, I've been doing this for a long time, so it does flow easy for me. But practice, practice, practice. So entry stroke, underturn, underturn, above the waistline, loop it, exit stroke, fill it in. And now we're going to do I think the last one. I think we're on the last one. So it's on the R's. Oh no, the letter C. That's what it was. I knew I had one more. I knew I had another one before the R. Okay, cool. So the C is entry stroke. And it's kind of like the underturn, but we're curving it a little. We're going back up and out. Then I'm going back and I'm pulling it down, and then I'm making my loop here. And then I'm filling that in. Entry stroke, down, up, little loop, filling it in. So I'm looking for it to be about a third of the way down on my X site here. And I'm hoping that all of these are going to be even all the way across. This is the goal. Hopefully it can be achieved. Sometimes days are just off though, and it's just not possible. I know for me, when I've had a busy day or if I'm tired, sometimes it's just frustrating because like my hand's not doing what I wanted to. It's normal. It happens. Perfect. Now we're going to do the R. Or both versions of the R, I should say. So we're going to do entry stroke to above the waistline, make a little loop, small angle, press, and then go back up again. For the underturn, and then we're going to go and fill in the loop up here. So entry stroke, up to a loop, angle it down a little, press and release, doing that underturn. And then we're filling it in. In general as well, however big you make this guy on any other letter is how it should be consistently whenever you're doing any writing. That should have touched the bottom. So let's do that one more time. Angle down and then up again. There we go. Up, loop, angle, press, release, fill that in. So that is one of the R's. And then we have the other one, which, like I said, this one, it can be hard to read. So we're doing an overturn. oops, overturn. And then up, loop, down, up again, and then filling that in. In context, totally legible as an R. Sometimes if this goes too wide, it looks like a V, which is not what we're looking for, but it can happen. So it's harder to control if you've never written like this before. So up, down, because when I first learned this, I would do it like this, and it was so wide, it literally, you couldn't tell that that was an R. It doesn't look like one at all. It looks like a weird V. So you want to always make sure that that space, this counter space that's in here, isn't too huge, because when it's too big, it just, you can't read it properly. So we're looking for something like this. So those are those two. I'm going to zoom out so you can see what the letter group 4 was. So let's make sure I didn't miss any. B, O, V, W, C, R. We got it. We did it. Perfect. So let me write all the letters that we've done so far, what we've learned. Just reading my notes. So, because I still don't remember them all the time, all off by heart for which one isn't in each group, because they're not in alphabetical order, right? So we got the, we've done the I. We've done the T. We've done the J. We've done the A. We've done the D. Haha, that's what she said. We've done the G. We've done the N. We've done the M. We've done the U. And we've done the Y. We've done the L. We've done the H. We've done the K. We've done the E. And now we've just learned the B. Or this one. I'm very quiet because I'm focusing. We've done the O. We've done the V. The W. The C. And the R's. So we've gotten the majority of the alphabet done, which is fantastic. Um, so yeah, I will. If anyone wants me, well, before I take any requests from anyone, I will let you know that if you want to submit any homework to me, there is the calligraphy community Discord that I run. That is, pardon me, if you go to my Instagram, which is right there, the link in bio has the Discord direct link, or in the about on Twitch if you're here. This is also going to be uploaded to YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, hi there. It's going to be in the description below. So you can click there and then just message me directly there, and I'll let you into the private channel that is for homework submission. Just so I can give you tips and tricks and help you guys out if you want to. So if you would like, my suggestion for homework would be to write a one page with maybe 5 or 6 of each letter on it, so I can take a look at it and give you any feedback. It would be that. And then if not, if you want to go wild and crazy, you can try and write your name or something, and then I can give you some feedback on that, or write the word minimum, which is always a fun little challenge to do. So yeah, if you want to do that, that's cool. Follow me on all of the things if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll take any requests anyone wants. I'm not sure if Ron Skeet, if you are still here, but I will write the word Joshua for you, in case you see this later. Do you want to clip it for yourself? Go for it. So I will write your name. It would be like that. So if you're still in here, there you go. You got your name written for you. And if you're not, well, now you see me write a name, and you've seen a magic skill, which we'll be going over once the mini skills are done. When we'll be starting, we will be starting magic skills on Feb 22nd. The next one we'll be doing is Feb 12th. We're going to be doing letter group 4, which are all the exceptions. So the rest of the alphabet, basically. So F, P, Q, R, S, X, and Z. Or Z if you're in America. I'm Canadian, so I say Z. It just is what it is. Then Feb 15th, we're going to be doing double letters and numbers and punctuation. Feb 19th, we're going to be, actually, sorry, we're starting the magic schools on February 19th. So we're going to be doing how to really connect the mini schools first, so we can make words like the word Joshua. And yeah, some of the basic strokes for how to do the magic skills, figuring out what the basic strokes are for that, the way that you have the 8 basic strokes for the mini skills, which is helpful, I think, if you are going to try and learn. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think if I want to end it here, if I want to just continue writing just kind of quietly. So I think lesson wise, if you want to click out of the video, go for it. And I will see you for the next video. But I think I'm gonna just kind of continue writing some names, I think, and maybe doing like an just a little bit of practice. I'm feeling kind of warmed up now, So I'll just kind of continue writing. And if anyone wants to pop in and or if they have any questions or see whatever I'm doing, that's all good. But if you're only here for the teaching is done, more or less. And I will see you on the next video. But yeah, I think I'm just going to continue for a little bit, maybe another 20 minutes or so. Just going to grab a there we go. These. I'll just be doing some words. In alphabetical order, I guess. Like A to Z kind of thing. Because I just feel like doing a little bit of practice, but I'll just be doing it kind of quietly, if any. And I'll look up every so often to make sure that I haven't missed anything in the chat. This way. All right, I'm not mad at that. That's pretty cool for 15 minutes of work. And I think on that note, I think I'll be done. Thank you. I was feeling warmed up, so I figured I'd just go and see where it took me. But I think I will now call it an evening. Thank you for indulging me in my writing, a little exercise. I appreciate it. As a little reminder, make sure that you clean your nibs before putting your pen away. Please and thank you. No one wants a rusty nib. And yeah, I will end the stream. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. I hope you had a good time. Hope you learned something. That would be good. And yeah, if you want to submit homework, you know what to do. And I will see you on Feb the 12th, which is, what day is that? That is next Monday. And I will see you then. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.